hypothesis that we entertain in our laboratory is that we all have energy. This energy continues like the light from distant stars. And what John does and others do is that their brains and consciousness serve as an antenna and receiver. And what they do is they learn how to tune in to the signals that are present and keep their noise low, and then receive these subtle signals.
The concept of a connected fabric of reality, of which we are part of that by virtue of being here, is similar to something like the Force from Star Wars. Obi-Wan at some point suddenly feels a disturbance in the Force when a planet is blown up. And in a sense, he's feeling ripples through this space-time medium that he's able to sense directly. The phenomena what we call ESP probably operate on something like that.
Physics has a name for this distant connectedness. It's called quantum entanglement. At the moment, it's just a theory being applied to electrons and molecules. Scientists don't know yet if it could apply.
This is Ariel Ben Yashar, dying in Lions Den Camp. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Father, and to the Son, in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh, Bahasham, Ha, Rachak, Wadash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. A double honor to my elder apostle as well, Diane Lions Den Camp, Ahar One Ben Yasharallah. And a sincere Tawada to the Akim, the Akwatim, and the Bunyim, the brothers, the sisters, and the children who are pushing the truth and believe it with sincerity. Tawada and Shalom. As you saw in the video, they were talking, there was a lot of cool points that was made. Now, unfortunately, when they were talking about this segment of I was watching a brain documentary with Akim, and they were talking about this segment of the brain because they were talking about ESP and like mediums and pretty much like witchcraft and stuff like that. But so that part, that part's not cool, like the whole ESP thing. But the part that I was honing in on was the being open to to the source, to the light, to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua ultimately. All right, the ESP with the mediums, they're just open to darkness, or they're just making shit up, or they're open up to demons pretending to be humans, pretending to be people's loved ones and shit like that. But I'm not going into that. The main part was one thing the dude said, like a antenna and a receiver. All right, the brain. The brain has the capacity to be like an antenna or a receiver. That's the working theory when they were trying to, do tests and stuff like that. And for real, it is all right. Our brains, all right. We have antennas, all right. We have receivers, all right. As a matter of fact, let me get that scripture before matter of fact, let me get this one, because when it talks about it being an antenna, all right, a receiver. All right, we receive the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is John chapter 7, verse 38. It says, "He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water." Right. That's being aligned with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, having your antennas proper. All right. And receiving that good signal of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and so much so that you become the opposite of a receiver is a transmitter, all right, a transmitter of that light, my next scripture. All right, so we're being those receivers and transmitters of the light, the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that water of life. Okay, all right, so like we have that capacity that the Lord has given us. That's the scripture. I just remembered. I want to get a different one. Hold on. All right, so this is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, chapter 17, verse 1. The Lord created man of the earth and turned him into turned him into it again. All right. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua built us with power already within us. He endued them with strength by themselves, and made them according to his image, and put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. All right, so that's the power that Yahweh Shem Shai has given us. All right. Verse 5, they received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord. In the 6th place, he imparted them understanding, and in the 7th, speech, and an interpreter of the cogitations thereof. All right. So we're aware of the 5 senses. What? Touch, taste, see, smell, and I said feel, touch, hearing. Dang, touch, hearing, taste, smell, and sight. God dang. So those are the 5 operations of the Lord. And in the 6th, he imparted them understanding. Right, we have understanding of things. All right, the sun, moon, and the stars. All right, the reason why migrations happen is all because it's ordained by Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, and in the 7th, speech. Right, and the interpreter of the cogitations thereof. Right, in our understanding, we can cognitively break them down. All right, so that we can edify one another. All right, in these times, but ultimately, because that's the way Yahweh Shem Shai made us. All right. So I brought that out to say that, all right, this is what those scientists were talking about in the video. They were saying that, talking about it's a theory or a working theory. Is everything's just a theory. All right, not knowing that that's real. Like that's how the world operates. All right, but they're tuned out. They're locked out of it. All right, but Kahalayim La Yahweh Shem Shai, he has our eyes and ears open that we're aware of, all right, that force, that force that's out there, which is the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, having that fear of him. All right, this is John chapter 3 and 28. One thing that one scientist said was the dude, so he could, they would, I hate to bring this, but at the same, he made it was a decent point when he said, the dude, to use his little ESP, he would what do he say? Keep his noise low and get little bits and pieces. And so, that's John 3:28. Ye yourselves bear me witness. This is John the Baptist speaking. I think he just got done baptizing Yahweh and the disciples, I think, at this point. That I said, I am not the Mashiach, but that I am sent before him, and he that hath the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth him, rejoiceth greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. This my joy therefore is fulfilled. He met Yahweh, he met the bridegroom. He was aware that there's a salvation for Israel. All right. Verse 30 is the point. He must increase, but I must decrease. All right. When he's talking about keeping his noise low, keeping you, let me get that. All right. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 14. Let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. All right. Lowering that noise within ourselves, with which ultimately is just our flesh. All right, trying to distract us from that signal, that tune, that frequency of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, so we have to decrease so the Lord can increase. Not only his majesty in us, exhorting him, but also that little voice in our head that try to make us doubt, just this flesh, pretty much this flesh. Ultimately, that's all it is, just this flesh. Let me my next scripture. Now the rest of the video was pretty much talking about how, everything is connected. All right, even the Shemayim, what they call the universe, and the quantum entanglement of it all. Ultimately, that's just the space in which the Yahweh Shai is preparing mansions for us. All right. But also, I thought about this one right here. Luke chapter 10, verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread upon serpents and scorpions, because that's like straight up cosmic energy coming right into us. You know, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that's cosmic. That's coming out of the like past the Shemayim, through the Shemayim, and then to us. All right, that's a network right there, man. That's a conduit. All right, and it's like it's a beautiful thing. It's a very, very beautiful thing. We're living in beautiful times right now. Let me read the verse like you. This is Luke chapter 10, verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. And this is Yahweh Shai speaking. So we have this power already, right? You know, us being awoken to who we are and to who the Lord is, we have this power in us already. Notwithstanding, in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you. So don't rejoice that we have this power. All right. Don't rejoice that, you know, we're just these, you know, don't rejoice in nothing fleshly, nothing, because I don't want to say that's carnal, but don't rejoice in that ultimately, in just the power itself, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. All right, rejoice that, you know, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai deems us as one of his elect, one of his ones that he wants to take care of. All right, in the like a calf in the stall, you know, being beamed up just in the nick of time out of those nuclear missiles. You know, that's what we want to rejoice over. All right, having our names written in heaven. All right, because this is beautiful times that we're in. Beautiful, beautiful times. All right, going back to the video, which spawned this lesson, is that connection that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has set up within us. All right, I'm gonna leave a link to the documentary that I clipped this from, but it was going into the structure of the brain. All right, the first level, the second level, what different parts do. And I didn't realize how many different parts of the brain that there was. I thought it was just that pink thing, you know, that we see on movies and TV shows. But there's many different parts of the brain that, you know, do a lot of important stuff, I should say, for us. But when they were going into what they will call the metaphysical aspect of it, all right, they really couldn't do or say much. But at the same time, what they were saying was a little bit on point with what the scriptures say when it talks about being in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So that's ultimately why I did this lesson. Let me get my last scripture. All right, this is Psalms chapter 119, verse 104. It says, "Through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way." That understanding. All right, that's the sixth sense that Yahweh, that was scripture, that the scripture spoke of. All right, and we read the scriptures to gain and sharpen that understanding. All right, hating every false way. Verse 105, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path." Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So we think about the scriptures, all right, before we do anything in our lives, whether it's going to align up with that. All right. Hey, you know, they serving free fish, you know, down the street. Oh, free fish. You say, oh, yeah, cool. What kind of fish is it? Putting the scriptures ahead of you, because you got to remember, you can eat fish. The fish is okay, but it's got to be a certain type of fish. Yeah, so what kind of fish is it? Oh, it's I don't know. I don't know what kind of fish it is. And you're like, all right, cool. You might go down there and check it out. And then you go down there and you ask them, and then you find out what fish it is. If it be, you know, clean or dirty, you know, you do accordingly. But you put the scriptures above you. You don't, when you put the scriptures before you, you don't, above you too. You don't just, you know, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go get one. And you get one, you don't even ask or nothing like that, you know. Putting the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai before us the same way you would if you were in a dark place and you have a flashlight or a lantern. You put that flashlight or lantern before you, so that way you can see where you're going. So Psalms 119 verse 105, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I have sworn and I will perform it. Khan, if if you're watching this video and you've attended Passover, you know, shit, you locked in for you locked in, you jumped in for all right, you made an oath, made a pact. All right, you've been sworn in. All right, you're a citizen of Israel now, so you got to do your duty. Or it says, I will perform it, that I will keep thy righteous judgments. Come, we have to keep the righteous judgments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, do our best to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai to the best of our ability, and keep the faith. Keep the faith. Be instant in season, out of season. All right. Go to the market. Go to the markets. Go to the highways and byways, chief place of concourse, and start teaching. All right, standing 10 toes on on the truth, on business, pretty much. I'm not recording. All right. Verse 107. I am afflicted very much. Quicken me, O Lord, according unto thy word. Hey, accept, I beseech thee, the free will offerings of my mouth. This is because that's the free will offerings of my mouth, right? Us doing this, our prayer, going out to teaching. O Lord, and teach me thy judgments. And we're learning of his judgments right now. All right, we see I'm doing this. Today's February 1st, 2026. As of today, the government shut down, I think last night. Shoot, hey, we're learning of his judgments right now. My soul, verse 109, my soul is continually in my hand, yet I do not forget thy law. I do not forget thy law. All right, making sure we put his ways before us like a lamp. All right, the wicked have laid a snare for me. All of these traps that are set out before us in this world. Yet I erred not from thy precepts, but we didn't pull away from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We didn't what's the scripture? We didn't roughly perfect. Dang, it ain't coming to my head. But we didn't dampen ourselves. All right, that's not the word. We didn't dampen ourselves. We didn't trim our ways to seek love. That's the way. The water. We didn't trim our ways to seek love. Err not from thy precepts. Thy testimonies have I taken as an heritage forever. Right. Hey, that's real shit right there. Thy testimonies have I taken as an heritage. Right. These are supposed to be part of our heritage, part of our not these are supposed to be, but they are a part of our heritage. They are a part of our culture. Are these precepts, these stories, these scriptures, man, they're part of our heritage forever. All right. For they are the rejoicing of my heart. Right. I have inclined my heart to perform thy statutes alway, even unto the end. All right. So that's what we are to do with these seven senses, with this connection that we have to what people call the universe, but ultimately it's with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. And, we have a connection to a cosmic source, out in the Shemayams, but people, they aren't open to that source. All right. They're open to darkness. All right. They're closed off from light, but they're open to dark. So I pray and hope that's what is edifying. Shalom.